Welcome to the Eonics Podcast, a podcast about software development, new ways of working, and lots of other interesting topics. Today I have a returning guest, Judy Wagenaar. Welcome.
Thank you, Marcus.
Our editor for the website and podcast, language teacher, teaching the Dutch course that just started.
Yes.
What else? Coach. So lots of different roles. And one of the things you also help us with is when developers have to go for interviews for new assignments, or when they start at Eonics, we do an interview training.
Yes.
Where we do a role play, we take an interview with them, and then we give them feedback how it is going.
Yes, with two people actually. There's one for the technical side, and there's one for the communication, social skills side, and that would be me.
And that's usually how it also is at real interviews. You have a project manager and usually a technical person. And we also developed, we've done it so many times that we developed it into an actual training course that's on the Eonics Academy, which you can find at academy.eonics.nl. Mm-hmm. It's called Interview Training for Developers. So, since you developed this course, I wanted to ask you a few questions about it. So,
of course.
Maybe to start, why is this important?
Well, by experience, we saw that some people who were actually highly skilled still didn't get a job,
right?
An assignment. Mm. So then you wonder why that's happening like that, and because of a person who was refused a few times, we thought about this training. Right. And then we started with him. And if I remember well, actually it was, as I said, not his technical skills, but he was very nervous. He was not very focused on connecting with the interviewers at the other side. Right. So then we focused on that and taught him how to improve his body language, his communication skills, and finally he got a job, and he's still on that same job already for a long time. And because of that, in general now we will do a training almost with everyone, with every consultant. So it will be only one if it goes very well, and we do several ones if we have doubts or if he feels insecure or whatever. We always talk to the person about that.
And what are common things that you see that people struggle with?
A main thing that's happening lately is that people talk very fast.
Oh, yeah.
So then we immediately stop the training, because if I cannot follow the answers, it will not be good. So then we stop and we do it again. Another thing is the body language. It's nice that they have an open attitude. They don't cross their arms against their breast, but they put them on the table. And even though they are nervous, we advise them to give us the idea they are more comfortable, because then everybody is more comfortable.
Right.
And we also have to explain quite a few times why we ask the question, when you introduce yourself, you give some personal details. So let's say not only where you live, whether you're married and children, but also about your hobbies. Because in these days, sometimes you can choose from 3 people who all have the same skills, the technical skills. But then if your interviewer likes to cycle and you tell him that you are also a fan of cycling, then the connection is very big. And so if there are no differences between the technical skills, then it's normal that he will go for where he has the biggest connection.
Yeah, so it's creating rapport with the people that are interviewing you.
That's it.
Making connections. Creating an image of a real person instead of just like someone with some technical skills.
Absolutely. And a bit on the same level is that with the body language, that we also, sometimes they are inclined not to have the eye contact all the time. And we tell them that it's very important to have the eye contact all the time, so that, in fact, when your answer is too long, and you see that people are going to lay back a little bit on their chair, that you see that they are not really focused anymore. So that you know, oh, my answer is a little bit too long, because you also see their body language.
Right.
And then you stop it.
Yeah, so by maintaining the eye contact, you literally maintain a feeling for how the conversation is going.
That's it.
And what about the technical side?
Well, what we sometimes ask and what people should also prepare is tell us about the success. You know, if you're good, you have good technical skills, it's very important that you show passion. So if you have done something very good in the past, that you are able to tell about it. On the other hand, it's also realistic that you have weaker points. So if you ask for your weaker points, don't get nervous, but be assured everyone has their weaker points and tell them about it. Because if you're eager to learn, you know, it's always okay. You can have weak points. Everybody has weak points.
And what I also, a bit similar to what you say about talking about the successes, what I often find is that you see this in people's CVs as well. They will just say like, oh, I have experience with Java and I did this and I did that. And it's more like a list. But what I always say is like, try to explain why you did something and what you actually achieved with it. Like how the company or the customers, or like how what problem did you actually solve and what result did you actually get from, instead of just focusing purely on the technical things themselves.
Yeah, I think that's very good.
And now we're doing this discussion in English. We have both Dutch speaking course and an English speaking course on this. Is there any difference because we're doing the interviews in the Netherlands, is there specific advice for English speaking candidates? Like should they start say hello in Dutch, or like, is there any cultural thing, or doesn't it really make a difference?
No, actually, I've never thought about it. So there's no difference for us in the way we do the training. Okay. The only thing is that if you come, let's say, from India and you're used to speaking English very fast, that you have to be careful, a bit slower, so that the one at the other side of the table can understand you.
Right. Yeah, because sometimes the accents are slightly different and it can be a little bit harder to understand, especially when people speak fast. Yeah.
Yes, and what I also find important, as you call the rapport between the people, the connection, as I say, that you should be aware that when you're nervous, you tend to look a little bit strained. Try to be friendly and smiley even a little bit in your face, because that's very good for the connection.
Yeah, don't be afraid to exaggerate it a little bit.
No, try to exaggerate, fake it until you make it.
Right, it really works.
Yeah, it really works.
And what are some of the tips you give people that people listening can also try themselves? Like we already mentioned a few. Like, is there a way you can practice this kind of body language thing, or?
Well, this is the kind you fake it until you make it, is that you take the power pose at home. Some people do it, you know, when someone runs the 100 meters and he's got the finish, he will go into a power pose. His hands will go into the air and he's the winner. Right. Well, they say actually that it helps when you exercise it in front of your mirror every evening, because it will give you a different feeling. Right. And that's really true.
Yeah, so the way you have your body actually influences how you...
That's it.
How you actually
That's
feel.
Why they say fake it until you make it.
Right. Okay, thanks very much for sharing. Is there anything that we forgot that you would like to mention about the training or the course? Any last tips?
Well, I would say in contradiction that we say the power pose, you also should be modest in a kind of way. Don't brag about, because and be authentic. Be yourself. Right. You know, if you're shy, you will be shy in the team later on as well. So we even had a candidate who said, well, I'm a little bit shy and I'm trying to overcome it. I mean...
Yeah, then be explicit about it.
Yeah, be explicit about it. Even when there's a question you don't know the answer, just say that you ask more information, or just tell them that at the moment you don't know the answer, and then don't go all around it. Be honest.
Right. Be honest. Well, thank you so much, Judy.
You're welcome, Marcus.
And have fun with the training. And if anyone's interested, you can find the training on the Academy website, and even book a fake interview session with Judy to practice.
You're welcome.
Okay, dankjewel.
Bye.